One of the most powerful ideas about reality, which can change our lives significantly, is the mirror principle. This principle doesn't involve specific techniques or actions, but is about who you want to be. The core lesson here is that if you don't change inside, nothing outside will change. This is the essence of the mirror principle. When you grasp this concept, everything you do can turn out great, but it requires facing your own issues and accepting uncomfortable truths. If you are ready for a big change, this video is for you. Here, I will also share with you a practical exercise you can apply from today. The reality is like a mirror reflecting your relationship with yourself and the world. Let's delve into the 4 keys that can help you shape your reality as you desire. When we talk about the law of attraction, it often mentions how reality is like a mirror that we try to manipulate. The first key to understanding the mirror principle is that it reflects 2 things: how you see yourself and how you see the world. In simpler terms, what you see in the mirror of reality is a reflection of your self-perception and your view of the world. If you look at yourself and think you're not good enough, the mirror will reflect that belief, and you will start to say to yourself things such as, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't do this." The mirror essentially reinforces what you believe about yourself. Instead of trying to directly change what you see in the mirror, we should focus on transforming how we present ourselves in front of that mirror. It's like trying to influence someone. If you say, "Don't do that," they might be more inclined to do it. But if you motivate and inspire, explaining the reasons to avoid certain actions and their potential negative consequences, people are more likely to listen and accept your influence. Our aim is to indirectly affect the world. The mirror of reality simply magnifies what you say and reflects what you believe about yourself, your identity, and your view of the world. Now, the question is, how can we change this? How can we disrupt this pattern and consciously choose what we desire? You need to create your own identity and worldview, which I'll explain with an example. First, it's vital to be clear about what you want in the long term, say 10 years from now. Think about the daily activities you envision in that future. What makes your life an ongoing journey of discovery? Also, consider who you are in that scenario and your characteristics when you are achieving all these things. Next, think about your worldview. How do you perceive the world when you are living this reality? How does the world look and feel when you are experiencing all this? Create powerful affirmations about your identity, like "I am worthy" or "I'm happy and grateful now that," and then add your desire like you are already experiencing it. By repeating these affirmations daily and internalizing them, you'll notice a remarkable transformation. Your perception of reality and how you view the world will start to change. Even if what you want seems challenging now, don't let that deter you. Everything takes time, practice, and patience. Respect your journey and don't allow fears to stop you from achieving something extraordinary. Now, let's move on to the second key. It's important to understand that the reflection we see in our physical world has a delay. In our inner world, we can instantly create an image by closing our eyes and visualizing what we desire. But in the physical world, things take time to manifest because matter is dense and follows the laws of nature, which don't allow instant manifestation. That brings us to the next important point you need to remember. You must stick to the belief you held onto for long enough for your desired outcome to happen. What does this mean? It means you should stay committed to the identity and way of thinking you've created until you achieve your goal. If you want to become something, start by adopting the mindset of someone who is already that. Ask yourself how that person would act, and maintain that mindset for a while. Remember, consistency is fundamental. Something interesting happens when people start doing this. They realize that life has its ups and downs. They form a belief and an identity, expecting their goal to come true. However, when the result doesn't show up immediately, their mood drops along with their belief. Now, when your mood is at its lowest, suddenly your goal appears. But here's the catch. When it does, it reflects your previous negative attitude, but with some delay. So, what you've achieved starts deteriorating because it's mirroring how you felt. This sets off a kind of pattern or cycle in your life that you can't avoid the ups and downs. The key here is to always stick with the identity and worldview you have created. This is the most effective way to make significant changes. Now, let's move on to the next important point that I found very impactful. You need to understand that reality doesn't reflect the nature of your thoughts, but their pure content. Let me explain. If you keep saying you're dissatisfied, but there's a specific reason for your dissatisfaction, like hating the place where you live, your boss, or your bills, the mirror doesn't reflect the hatred itself. It reflects the specific content of your dissatisfaction. For instance, if you say you hate the bills, you will end up with more bills. If you say you hate your job, more situations that make you hate your work will arise. This is precisely how it works. The more you complain about what you lack and what you don't want, the more of that you will get, confirming your outlook and identity. This is the fundamental difference between thinking in terms of scarcity and abundance. It's all about whether you see the glass as half full or half empty. The key to applying this in your life is simple. Focus on what you want and what you already have. To create any change, you need to start by focusing on what you currently have. That means appreciating all your possessions and your progress so far. Take a moment to think about what you truly want and what would make your life an exciting journey of discovery. Imagine how it would look and feel, even if it's just a vague idea. The key is to keep your attention on what you desire. When you do this consistently, the gap between your current life and your desired life starts to shrink. This is because you will begin to push the limits of your comfort zone. Now, let's move on to the fourth key, the mirror cycle. This is a game changer because it can eliminate uncertainty. When you learn to use this mirror cycle, you'll see reality changing before your eyes. It all starts with looking back at your past attitude, the complaints, the past mistakes, or choices you made without thinking. This is the present moment where you might face bills or a job you dislike. By observing this, you can shape your internal thoughts and feelings. We present this attitude to the mirror. When we do, the mirror has no choice but to reflect it. It creates reality based on this reflection. However, most people make the mistake of looking at the reflection and getting stuck in a cycle. It becomes an addictive trap. They keep replaying the same pattern and wonder why things keep going wrong. They try different tactics and strategies, but they end up back in the same loop because they don't make an internal change. The key is to change your fundamental worldview and identity. To do this, you need to reverse the process. For most people, they begin by looking at things and then creating a mental picture and later assessing the outcome. This is the usual process for making decisions. However, if you wish to become a true architect of your own life, you should reverse this order. I say this because I have personally experienced it throughout many years. When I grasped this concept, everything changed. To break away from this pattern, we should first start with the mental picture we want to create. We should turn away from assessing our current situation because we start to understand that our present circumstances are a result of past decisions. It's essential to realize this, or nothing will improve. If you want to shape your future, you must consciously choose your present actions. So, we begin with the image we want to manifest. When we select this image and say, "This is what I desire," and "This is what I am," the world around us begins to reflect this slowly and gradually. Even small changes will begin to happen, although it might take some time. What should we do next? Instead of just observing, we need to confirm. We should look at our progress in the mirror and acknowledge what is working. When we see progress, we think, "That's working. Look at that progress." If you aim to enhance your work or business, you will notice improvements. Even if your life seems to be falling apart, focus only on the aspects that align with your chosen identity and worldview. The idea is to keep doing this consistently. The more you do it, the results will surpass your wildest expectations. If you apply these principles, your life will undergo a profound transformation. This is not just theory, it's energy, and is something I applied, and it worked for me. When I started my spiritual journey, I was skeptical, but the results were astonishing. The things I desired started coming to me, even more than I had imagined. As we explore the depths of the mirror of reality, we uncover an inner power we often overlook. What we see around us is, in fact, a reflection of our beliefs, identity, and worldview. The secret to transformation is to actively shape our destiny with the image of who we want to become and what we want to achieve. As we develop this new image, reality begins to respond with gradual changes. The mirror of reality has no limitations. It responds to what we offer, just like an alchemist turns lead into gold. We can change our lives by adopting a mindset of abundance, focusing on what we have and what we desire. Ultimately, our journey through the mirror of reality is a quest for self-discovery and a celebration of our ability to create, innovate, and transcend. I hope this wisdom serves as your guiding light on your life's journey, helping you create the reality of your dreams. More important topics like this will be covered in other videos. Make sure you don't miss them. To do so, subscribe to the channel, and if this video touched something inside you, please leave a like and share your idea with me in the comment section. Thank you.